Hi guys, welcome back. Welcome back.
Welcome back.
Anyway, we're glad to have you back again today. And we have a new conversation that we wanted to, talk about. It's one of those things that exists like a lot in our black families. I obviously don't know of other races how they do it, but because I'm black, I know how it is in the black society. And today, like I wanted us to talk about transactional relationships. Okay, so babes, I'll ask you, if you were to define what is a transactional relationship, what would you say?
Well, at a very basic level, it's a relationship that is based on give and take, and sometimes it can be one directional, meaning one person is just always want to take or asking and all of that. So, and I think another context that we need to lay on top of this discussion is we're looking at these from family and friends relationship, because there is nothing absolutely wrong with transactional relationship.
Yeah,
It
if
is
you're a business,
absolutely,
of course. Yeah.
So our discussion is going to be based on how we see some family members or friends handling relationship, in a transactional way, which we don't like, as it were.
Yeah, I'm very big on like having meaningful relationships. Like I'm very big on, if I'm going to like a person as a friend, or if I want to have a friend with someone, or I want to build a friendship with the person, I'm the person who would invest like myself into it. So when I'm in it, I'm in it. So I'm in it. Even my friend calls me, they need this, I step in and I help. I'm in. I'm basically in. And in my experience of, all these years that I've been an adult, one of the things that I have seen big time in relationships, or that has led me to kind of like let go of certain relationships, is because of the relationship of people always expecting me to give,
And to do
to
things
give,
for them.
yes, give of my time, give of my maybe money, which is honestly, there's nothing wrong with that, because at the end of the day, God said that we should love each other, and we should, obviously, when you love each other, you serve each other, but also it comes as like you have to be careful that you're not being taken advantage of.
Absolutely.
Because you, at the end of the day, you're a human being and you feel it. If like every time this person can disappear for 5-6 months or whatever, have WhatsApp, they don't never call you to say, oh, how's you, how's family, how's business, how is this? But the only time that they call you is when they like, is he, can you please give me what, or can you give me money for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5?
Or can you please drop me there?
Yes. Yes.
Let me say this also before we get deeper, is we believe that family and friends relationship should be based on love and kindness, and that's what you've explained, as a family, and the way God designed it is that we be there, we love one another,
We should
and
be
be
there,
there for each other, irrespective of what we can give in terms of material things to each other. The foundation for family relationship and
Is
also friends relationship, whereby we come together and say, we want to be friends because we share certain virtues or
Yes.
certain beliefs or
Yeah.
something in common, and that is what, and like my wife was saying, that such relationships should be based on we checking on each other.
Yes.
how are you doing? How is your family? Send me random messages.
yes.
If you still use SMS, send SMS.
Honestly,
Check
there's
check
so
on
many
me, or
ways.
if we are connected on social media platforms, Facebook and the rest. Drop a message and just check on me without needing anything from me.
Yes, because to be quite honest, it gets extremely exhausting. And because you end up like whenever, like sometimes when I'll see calls from people that rarely call me, and if they do call me, usually they want something. There's that level of like my heart will just keep like, oh God, what does this person want? Because you've already painted this picture of yourself to me.
Yeah.
And now every time that you want to call me, I'm already thinking, oh,
What are they going
here
to
we
ask
go
again?
again.
Or when the message comes in, hi, and you're thinking, what am I going to reply now? Because I don't know what this person is going to
want,
Exactly.
And I mean, like you said, everything obviously with us, stems from us being Christians and living our lives in a Christ-like way, right? So because I said earlier that we are called to love one another, we are called to support one another. But it's also a situation where it's two people together. So if he says love one another, he's not only telling Zanele that I must love one another. He's telling Samantha, for example, that love one another. So if I have a friend who's Samantha, we should love one another.
Yes.
So it's not like Zanele must be the one that is loving. Zanele must be the one that is paying for this. Zanele is the one that is always doing this and this and that.
Yeah, basically it should be mutually beneficial.
It's mutual, yes. It's very important to have a mutual relationship, because we are all human beings and we are all here on earth, all of us dealing with one thing or the other. Let's be honest.
Yeah.
Yes, there are certain people that know how to handle their season
Affairs.
better. Then there are people who don't really know how to. Some people's challenges are very visible and others are not so visible. So which means we all go through something.
Yeah.
Okay. And it's important that we approach our relations with people with kindness and thoughtfulness, that I can't be always asking this person, do I even know if this person is okay? Because if you were chatting with me, you would know that, last night we didn't have food to eat. And then when your only thing you know is that, give me money for this. I beg for the... I mean, it's not right.
It's not right. It's not right in many ways. And we are discussing this because we have experienced it, and we do experience it every now and then, and we thought we should share with you what's your experience like when it comes to your relationships with friends
people
and family. Is there a transactional relationship that is going on where somebody is always calling you or always texting or sending messages to ask for something? How do you handle them? What are the
and how do they make you feel? How does it make you feel to be someone that is always like, yes, it's like it has to be extremely exhausting. That because you are not, I'm not Jesus Christ, like in terms of himself. He can handle all these things. I can't handle my own life and handle other people's lives and handle the world's issues and challenges. It just doesn't make any sense. And it's also not good for me that I carry people on my shoulders and their burdens. If you remember in the earlier days, I was someone that very, I'd say compassionate, and someone who would hear, let's say, people's issues and challenges, and then for whatever reason, it just weighs me down of what I've just heard.
Internalize,
I internalize things.
Yeah.
But that did not have a good impact on my health, because half of the time I was always worried about other people, and which is not fair to me because I also I have my own things that I need to look at, you know, which is okay when you have a friendship. You are able to share these things together.
Yeah.
You know, if we have a friendship, we talk about things
I get
together.
you.
We help one another.
Yes.
We guide each other. But if you are one-sided, everyone is offloading on you, it becomes extremely heavy for you.
Sure. And there's a saying that says, a problem shared is half solved, you know, and, you know, to allude to what you just said, when we interact often, you know, then we're able to share each other's burden, you know, and in the process of sharing between each other, life issues and all of that, you know, you find some form of relief. You know, some things are not even money related, you know, but because we don't check on each other and we don't talk often and we don't know what the other party is going through, and, you know, then this party is always just coming up or rocking up whenever there is a need
to
you know.
them, you know. And that's another thing where I have seen within the Black community of perceiving people's success based on like what they have or possessions. If I have a car, I have a job, I have this and I have that, means that I'm so successful and I have all the money in the world in my bank account waiting for people to come and make requests and stuff like that.
Yes.
Like, let's drop that whole, I mean, I think now in 2021, we should understand that things are not always as it seems. You know, what we think is going great, it's actually not. So let's stop this perception of people and thinking, Uti, because they have a car, then I should always be, you know, pounding on them like, oh, give me money. I need this. Can you get me that? Can you get me this? Sometimes the only thing I will need from someone is to ask me, how am I doing?
Exactly.
How is the business doing? How is the family doing? You know? And I'm like, oh,
what are you up to?
You know, those kind of things, you know?
I just wanted to say something. Because people are not calling you for something or to ask you for help, financial help to be specific, that does not mean that they are very wealthy. You know, I would love to repeat that, you know, meaning because someone has not called you for years or for months, you know, to say, you know what, I need 1,000 rand, or I need 10,000 rand, or I need 100,000 rand to do this business or to do whatever it is.
Or seeing you on Facebook looking nice and sharp and doing,
you know, but I just want to lay emphasis on the fact that because people are not calling you to ask for financial help, that does not mean that they are very rich. You know, people go through things, especially in 2020 and 2021. You know, we know what the impact of coronavirus is on economy. And because of that, it affects a lot of revenue streams and all of that. So because somebody is not saying, you know what, I lost a client, or I lost my job, or my business is not doing very well, because they're not calling you to tell you all those things, and you see them on Facebook that they are just posting every now and then, that does not mean that they have life figured out, you know, and hence it is key to randomly check on people that you call family members and friends, so that, you know, in the process, as a matter of fact, it builds trust, you know, whereby I am comfortable to share inner things, you know,
because it shows that they care.
Exactly.
But then, you know, the problem with that I've seen with people is this whole thing of like we're talking now of perceiving people to be, you know, like the it and end all. I mean, people perceiving celebrities like they're successful or they have the best life ever based on what they see on social media. Like, I want to say that things that you see on social media are not the true depiction of someone's life, you know.
Okay.
Some people handle life differently, or handle challenges differently. Some people post, to kind of run away or whatever, escape
Yeah.
their challenges. So we can't look at someone from the outside and think they are doing fine. What is so difficult to pick up a phone
Yeah.
and just send a WhatsApp? You don't even have to call.
Yes.
A WhatsApp message. How you doing?
And also, even outside of posting and seeing the person's post on social media, because you haven't heard from someone for a long time, that doesn't mean that they're okay.
Definitely.
So I know we're touching few angles, and you will probably be able to relate to one or two of them. Because somebody is not again, because you've not heard from somebody, that does not mean that they're doing okay. So if you are that person that you have a relationship with someone and you have not checked on them, could even be a family member, check on them.
Yeah.
I mean, Daystar
Church.
Daystar Christian Center or Church, was dealing or looking at a particular series of topic in last month, which was August, and the title of the series is How Are You? And all they were trying to, or the preachers, encourage is check on
each other.
people. Even though there's social distancing and all of these things, and you can go and visit them, pick up the phone and call them, send messages. Let's check on people without wanting something from them.
I actually, when Pastor spoke about it, and after he would challenge the people, the congregation, to say, I challenge you that this week you reach out to people. And he was saying, if someone drops in your mind at that time, that is the time that you should reach out to them, So, and I do my best to reach out. And I did a few times that I would reach out to people that I haven't chatted with in a while. I'm not a person that chats with people because I want something. I've never been like that, even,
And having said that, that does not mean that you got everything figured
doesn't
out,
mean,
or that all your needs are met.
No, it doesn't mean that. But I'm more like, I think I would have to, if we will have to be in a different kind of a relationship for me to ask someone that, can you help me with 1, 2, 3? So it means that our relationship would have been much stronger.
Yeah.
And I would know the person, pretty well, that I can be comfortable enough to ask.
Yeah.
But anyway, so they were encouraging us to reach out to people that you haven't spoken to in a while. And I've done that, and I've reached out to people even before. I used to reach out to people. I would send a random WhatsApp to find out how someone is doing.
Yes.
But I think eventually, like, honestly, there are people that I have given up because I feel like
it's one directional.
It's too much
you find yourself always doing that,
Yes.
and the person is not reciprocating.
Yes.
And because of that, you also have to withdraw so that you're not seen as a
yes, exactly. I feel like I'm a nuisance.
Something like that.
Yeah, sometimes I feel like I'm being a nuisance if I keep reaching out to this person and they're not reaching out back to me, and like maybe I'm bothering this person.
Exactly.
Then I pull back and I'm like, okay, let me.
I'm like that also, and some of my friends that are going to watch this video can attest to that. But yeah, I've withdrawn also. Because it's just natural that you can't be the one that is always
there,
it is called a relationship for a purpose, because it has to be two directional. It has to be mutual, when one is giving. And we're not saying or suggesting that all relationships are going to be on a balanced scale, but it can't be, you can't weigh on one
one
side,
person.
one person, than the other. Even the Bible says that unbalanced scale is an abomination or something like that. So we should try as much as possible. What we're saying is, we should look at family and friends relationships based on love and kindness, like I said earlier. And once we're able to do that, we can then operate from that angle, and we should check on each other often. And
Because even with family, even if you are a child and you have your parents, you also have to build a relationship with your parents.
Exactly.
It's not a given that because they are parents, all they must be doing is give. Mama, I want this. Mama, get me this. Mama, get that. They are human beings, guys. They are human beings as well. Sometimes you can say, Mama, can I make you some coffee?
Yes.
Mama, how was work? How was business? It's just being aware of other people, and considering other people as well, and not just making everything about what you want all the time.
Because what that creates is the entitlement mentality,
exactly.
where you are always entitled.
Yes, I deserve.
You
must give me.
And that's not good.
No, it's not good, and that's why we'll have adults today who are always saying, I deserve, you should have given me, government must give me this house because I deserve it. It's a wrong way to raise our kids. We have to teach our kids to have, to know how to build meaningful relationships with people. It's not just about what I'm going to get from that person.
Exactly.
It's about what we can do together, because
to build each other.
And because a relationship goes a long way. You guys are going to grow old together. Maybe you go separate ways at some point. Some point you will meet up again, and I would rather be a good memory, like, to someone. Like, I'd rather be like someone like, oh, I met this. I used to have a friend who, who was this, that's all I would rather be remembered for than anything else. Or would see maybe like, oh, she used to be calling me this one every time she wants
asking,
this, and asking and whatnot.